Welcome. I got to thinking, and I was thinking on a one horse open sleigh, but then he's with reindeers. So maybe it's the collection agency that is with the reindeer. Why? Because it's taking the sleigh away, meaning the man at the shopping center is going to collect the shopping carts. And you know what the shopping cart is? In a one horse open sleigh, because you're the horse. You're at the end of the horse. You're pushing that shopping cart around. He's got four wheels. It's like a rocking horse. You push him, you stop, you throw things in a one horse open sleigh. Why one horse? One and four for AD, for the atom of the thought, the Adam's apple, the atom of man. Eve divides and splits her legs and joins two worlds together. Adam lives within the two worlds. We are all the atom of the Eves. The eaves of our shoulder, the eavesdroppings, the two sides, the birds stuck to our head. In a one horse open sleigh means you're going shopping. I've been painting a little bit and talking to Mary. I just spoke to Mary about a minute or two ago, and all of a sudden, Mary is on the run on a one horse open sleigh. You do know that I'm on here for another reason. It's because I'm lonely. So what I want to do right now is I want to see if I can shut this off. Can you see me better? Oh, yeah. Look, if it goes like this a little bit longer, I'll be Santa Claus next year. Maybe I can practice 1 year in advance so you'll know my voice when I walk on by. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. There is a spirit in the sky. The Matrix has to be alive. It was built by somebody. Somebody who would build something is going to say, I love this machine. I love this machine. Oh my God. Let's hook it up to Beta. The secondary system and the system of Venus that divides everything. It's in the menu. It's bienvenue, saying everybody is welcome inside of Beta. Because in Beta, she is number 2. Alpha visits Beta, but Alpha can only visit Beta when it reaches the 7th gate, because it's got to connect two sides. It's almost like a horse in a corral. Adam goes all the way around, and Adam goes in? No. Adam is in the center, and he sticks out his short stick, and he turns all the way around. And now he has a circle around himself. He is the center to the circle of life of Venus, the venue, the welcome, the bienvenue, the how are you into this world. I am Adam standing at the center of the 7th gate. I am 50 and 30. How much is it when you play darts? Let me look this up real quick. Let me look this up. Dart scoring. You see me standing up, right? I forgot to tell you why I'm standing up. Hold on a second. What do you see here? One cat on the floor, one on my chair here, and there's the other one. You can barely see the two. So I can't sit down because I'd be sitting down on this. And I'd be sitting down on this. Wait, where is the other one? You can barely see the other one. You see her? This cat here, and this is my 3rd one like this. I call them all Rachel. I don't know why I call them Rachel, but you know what? The good Lord in Matrix comes into my mind, and I speak to you the first come, first serve of the word they give me, because they tell me the truth. So that's the word I use in the action of the thought. If my thinking is faster, it's because they're talking for me. I can never put anything together. You see the way I stopped? I could never put something together. I could never is not the right word to start. What would be the word of never to say? Do not say never forever, because forever is ever, and it never ends. Forever never ends. It's the only thing that hurts me deep into my heart, that we can never go forever and know what forever is. We'll never know what the end is all about if we don't make it to the end. And even if there is a life after this, and there is, the thought of never forever, when it's deep down in your thought, is the scariest thought in the world. Never is forever. And forever is ever and ever. And they all lived happily after. After of the ever is the never of the ever. The evergreen tree that stays alive in the winter. Why? Because they had to create a tree that would connect to man. Something that connect in the snow, in the colder area, in order for them to zap us inside the beta world system. Beta is the cross. She's 2, 5, and 8, saying time heaven from Jupiter, which is in man's heart. She's saying at the time, why man's heart? Because the 7 card has 5 and 2. The 2 upside down from the 5, you got to take those 2 off the 5. You end up with 3. All you end up is with creation. Do you understand? Take out the cards. Some are upside down. The 1 and 3 are upside down because it's your creation and your 1 spirit that gives you your 6th life. But the 1 spirit is the 7 of who you are, of the 9 birth. In the 8 world, the 4 on the left and 4 on the right. Why? Because look at me. Look at my body. I'm flat. My body's flat. I got a waistline. It goes around. But it goes around passing on a 3/4 mile track. You ever see my waist? My poopy is in the center. I got a leg to the left, a leg to the right. I got 3 areas. And the heart of my body pokes down into the bottom part where it divides, able to put on the hips. And then on the hips you put the legs. You got hips and legs. And Elvis Presley was trying to show us this. So they kept them all drugged up instead of away from drugs. You know what? This holiday season, Nez Rouge is out. But they ain't picking up any pot smokers, don't you worry about. And if they did want to pick up a pot smoker, it's because they saw them smoking and driving. But let me tell you one thing. Within 20 minutes of the initial buzz, I am less than 0.8% alcohol. 8%? Man 6? Within the 2 gateways, 4 and 4, he's 8%. He's not even 8%. He's 8% of 2 sides. He's 16%. But there's 3 arms that are in. One is out, one is in. The arm that is out is not drunk, is the vision that is perceived. Just want to show you, I was working on this picture and I got a little bit more done. So you see him screaming? You see him screaming out his mouth here? Right here? And then you see this eye over here and this mouth over here. Then you see this. See the candle light at the top? Then we're going to turn stuff. We're going to turn designs. The designs we see in the world. Ho, 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 ho. Are actually something that is created somewhere else doing another job in another area. Somebody has seen it before. I'm setting up to put away this, my markers and stuff. I don't want it to go over the top. I don't want it to fall on the floor. I want it to be neat because it's Christmas time and I'm giving myself a present. I'm going to say to myself, Ronnie, I'm going to go, yes. What are we doing today? Oh, we're marrying the Christmas. What do you mean the Merry of the Christmas? Merry of Christmas. Hello, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to my brain. Welcome, spirit to soul. Welcome the 2 worlds together. I want to join. How come I can't come in and play any reindeer games? That's not fair. I want to go deep into my head and lie down on the floor, not take care of my body, and go inside the other world and see what's going on. Maybe I'll become a fish for an hour. I want to go in. Do you know what happened the last time I said it like this? It happened. It was 10 years ago. Then they put me on all these pills. But it's really a good thing, the pills, because I had to learn that you have to wedge yourself in. Because if you open the door all the way, you'll get sucked in like in the wind of a fire, and you'll blow up and you're burned down. Your chimney will burn down. You'll go nuts. You'll end up being locked up. Okay? They have to lock you up, not because they want to, but it's because of money. They lock us up because of money. We don't have enough. We have too much. We have too much. We have too much liberty. As long as we act according to the proper laws of the universe, the goodness of truth and fantasy, truth and fantasy are fine. But all fantasies must be in the reality of the rev you are in right now. So I got another little thing over here for jacks, dice, lighters, dice, jacks. Because I may have all these things, and I'm always telling a story, and am I 100% right? I have to show you all the objects, okay? What I do is not a thing to come on and watch me once. This is a come on and watch me 100 times. Because you'll start to see where I am, then you'll start to understand the game. Then you can say whether the game is interesting or not. It's like going to school and taking up something you want to do in life. In here, if you're interested in learning about science, the science or the creation of fiction, whether or not we can make it into reality, and why does it seem so real? Because when I stood up on my 2 feet today, and I looked down and I saw 2 feet, that was real. I'm standing on them right now. I'm connected to the earth. And guess what? Look at me. I'm bowing back, I'm bowing forward. I'm bowing back, I'm bowing forward. And I'm always swaying. I'm talking and I'm swaying. We're always moving. They say the Jew has a big nose because it's his pyramid that's sticking out. But you have to watch out, because if he does have his big nose, how big is the pyramid? You must look right here. And the pyramid goes forward. And it's only 3. Do you know why? It's 1 here, 2 sides, and the third part is here. You see the bump in my head over here? The edge of the pyramid coming in towards the bridge of my nose? The nose of the ship protects the actual matrix. And then, I don't know if you can see right here, but I got 2 bumps right here. And I got a bump over here. Now these bumps, okay, I used to bang my head when I didn't get my way when I was about 5 years old, or 6 or 7. You know what street I lived on? When I was first born, I lived on 2nd Street. Well, that would be Venus. That's pretty cool. Then we moved out to a place called Laval. Backwards, it's Laval. L-A-L-A, 31, 31, 31. Not so bad, eh? We're Chomedy, Laval. C-H-O-M for Chom, the radio station, 97.7, and that's where the pigs fly. P-I-G, 977. The address was 954. The 9 birth of the sun. 9 is the birth, 54 is the sun. It also equals to 25,625, one of the 25,625, the Mayan count. Divide 25,625. Divide 25,625. Which is Jack, the Queen, and Jack. J-Q-J. J-Q-J. Jack, Queen, Jack. Jack, Queen, Jack. Valet, Dame, Valet. 10, 10, 24. 11, no. 22 and 20, 10 and 10, J and J for Jack is 20, plus the Queen, Jack Queen, is 10, 12, 10. 10, 12, 10 is 32. VDV is 44, is 48. Oh my God. Okay, so I lived on Emerson Drive, MSN Drive. I lived on MSN Drive in Chomedy, Laval. Christ Heaven, the creation of the flying pigs, C-H-O-M, in which Bell, the creation, the Bell Media, in which really is Bell Telephone, underneath the grounds, which is underneath inside of Saturn, unless Bell goes underneath in Mars. Why? Because Mars is number 52. And Bell for B and E is number 25 for a jack hookup of a telephone call underneath the ground. Jack is a number 10. In order to get 10 on a dice, it has to be a 6 and a 4. So therefore the 4 would be Mars, the 6 would be the Saturn. They connected Mars and Saturn to the telecommunication systems. MSN Drive. If it wasn't MSN, the initials, okay? First of all, on Emerson Drive, MSN, we'd have the euro. We have the EERO. What is that? ROE. It's the gold, the electric gold. I lived on Emerson, and I was on 954. Everybody knows what 954 does. 25,625 divided by 41. And after you finish that, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, what's the answer and what's your answer above? Or if you want the same number rotation of 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. I'm still moving around. Don't I look like a chicken when I talk now? If you take notice, I'll be some kind of animal. What do you mean? What do you mean? Still got the cats on the seat, but that's okay. I'm on the high rocker. I'm rolling, thanks to Mary. Thank God we brought Mary. Now take a look. Take a look at my face. You see the shape that goes up like this? It looks like a pipe. Well, this is telling you something. The shape of my hair is telling you what's going on inside of me, how it's set up. What piece of equipment looks like this part of my head? What piece of equipment sticks out? Remember I told you about the 2 bumps? I used to bang my head against the wall. But I was on 954 Emerson Drive. My address was that. Now my telephone number was the craziest thing in the world because it's man's heaven. 688. 8 times 8 is 64 times 6 is 384. 384 days to that New Year's, to the leap year, I think, in the Hebrews. And not only that, 84 is 28, 28, 28, which is the 3 parts of your brain. For the moon you run, 28, 28, 28, 3 moons equaling to 84, and 84 equaling to space. So if creation of 3 moons equals to space, maybe what's going to happen is in a space station. Maybe it's going to come out of the space station and they're going to tell us a ship has came into the area and it is shooting at us. They will tell us, and we'll look on the TV and we'll see the ship shooting at us. Do you know why? Because they started shooting first. That's why. So you won't be able to notice. They made a shot. The spaceship. The next thing comes out, it has to do with ET or a UFO. That's what I see right now. My phone number was 688-9277. We have both ends of the stick. 92 is yellow. But white, number 65, and red, which makes pink, equals to the yellow 92. Now, what is the yellow? Is it the piss shower we get over our pineal gland every time we talk? But it comes out white. But sometimes it comes out yellow. The piss that you're spitting out of your mouth, but you never even knew it because it didn't have the same salt compound within it. That's why you're always spitting out, or you're blowing your nose. They pick your nose for gold. They get candle wax in the ear to mold the gold, to mold the vibration of what you hear. They put the wax in your ear, and it slowly comes out. And you think wax is normal. Well, first of all, with all those instruments in there, you got to be greasing them up. Otherwise, they'd be ruined. But at the same time, they're tapping for you. They're tapping out the information like a little bird back on Flintstones. And your central computer, which is the brain of who you are, it might be a computer brain or a real person. Don't forget of all the water, the different kind of sand. If there's a white sand, it means the story has not been written or walked in yet. If it's a red sand, maybe the story has been thought and now it's going down to the wasteland. Wasteland near your ass, the beta system division that lets out what you put in order to think. I think the food is for your body, for the fire of your body, to give your body the energy to have the receptor to come in with the communications of Bell. B&E is number 52. 52 is also the number for Earth, the number for 6, and the number for the bull. This is the bull. How do I know? Because they used to put a bowl over your head to cut your hair. Look at the 60s haircuts and you'll learn about the future. Look back in time like a rainbow, and your past will be your future. Certain items, if you cannot imagine, then how do you know somebody else has imagined it? There's 1,000 people on earth right now saying, I came up with that idea. Of every single thing that comes out on this earth, I bet you if you do a survey on how many people already thought about computers, I bet you 1 million people would say, how come we can't have a system to transfer the energy? Space is out there, so everybody has to say, I'd like to go up. Mommy, mommy, pick me up, pick me up. Pick me up? pick up the child, pick your nose, pick for gold. In Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I wish this was a little higher. In Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, okay, there was a man always throwing his pick into the air. It's a pickaxe. You know why? Because the axe splits things apart, and he needs only the pick to split the ice apart. So it's a split axe. So would you say it's a split axle? Would you say it's a split axle? Split axle, Axl Rose. Everybody knows, like I said, could be in the salt, could be in the sands. Axl Rose. It's a split axle, something to do with the white blood and the red blood. Do you remember what we were talking about? Split can also say split P and silver within the next word. It is the computer talk. Computer talks with communication. That's where Bell comes in. BE is Bell, which is the beta world. It's also representation of Venus, Earth, and Jupiter. Venus, Earth, and Jupiter. Venus, Earth, and Jupiter, which is the second planet, which is the third planet, which is the fifth planet. This is the sun. What we have over here is 4, 5, 7. 745 is everything. 74 is the Jesus, okay? Jesus is the energy. Let's call it like this. We're sending in the spirit? Yes. The energy is all locked up? Yes. Which brain do you want me to send into it? Do you want me to send the Larry brain or the Jesus ring? Put on the Jesus ring, because when you put on the Jesus ring and you go into a wheat machine and you're grinding wheat, each screen for each size is bigger and bigger for what we'll be working with. And let's call that the shark teeth. Did you understand what I said? We brought in the system. This is the CH system, the creation heaven. That's why I called Bell the pig in the ground. Now they bought out Shom FM. They just gained the transaction in order to have the vibration from the AM radio. I'm having trouble getting AM radio, and I shouldn't. So they're definitely going through the AM dial, because most people are not. You see, they go where you don't, and you never see them. They want to know. They need to do these surveys so they get there on time for when the time comes. Because there's only a clue. After you do, you get to an area, just like the greatest race. You get to an area, and then you have to do something when you're there. You never know what happens until after you won. But you had to play the game anyways to go through it. So I lived on Emerson Drive. Then I moved over for 1290. 1290 is alpha beta creation. That's your birth. 1290. 9 times 12 is 108. 108 is off the ground floor and away from the top floor. Why? Because your parents are standing there. You're on the next level. There's 2 more floors that get added on for you because you're not at 108. Your 3 creation makes it 111. Your 2 mother and your 1 father to make who you are, the seeds of who you are. But you are nothing until you are born. When the formation of the body takes place, you are 9. You come out, you are 11. But you are 10 and 9 and 1. Why are you 10, 9, and 1? Because 1 is within your heart. 1 is the electricity. What? So, wow, and the cat's, I can't, cat. Shh. So, so anyways, wow, I don't even know where I am. So I lived on Ridgewood Drive. 90 years old right now are those presidents. The ridge of the wood, the woody woodpecker. The woody woodpecker, is that what he was pecking with? Birds peck with their noses. Woody woodpecker, grinding it out like little things inside, in the nose, into the water each time, as you pray to God each time, looking for what you're hoping to find. We need Jupiter for the power electric to power up Saturn. Jupiter gives power to Saturn. Jupiter gives power to Saturn and other what do you call it? And other federations to come join in the reindeer games. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. We all came here to join in the games, and by our own doing, we asked to come here. We knew what this was all about before. So it's frustrating while you're here that you don't know. So that's why you want to be pretty hard. Anyways, we have to remember that the T is connected, and this is the sand pot, and it turns. But when this connects to this, it automatically becomes 3, and it becomes J and J. T turns J on each side. Okay, now on the outside of this is another one, because this turns inside, mixing up the sand. There's different sands, there's different salts. I believe most sand is a mineral. The minerals are very important. The minerals, mineral rocks. We are the mineral rocks, and each and every one. This is why the spiritual people, or the ones who know about that health science, know a whole lot more than anybody else, because they know where the element comes from. But there's still things that are missing. Even if they've made the element book, why is the element here? We must know why the element is here. We see what the element is used for. Then we would ask our question, the hammer and the sickle? Do you want to know about the hammer and the sickle? Talk a little louder. Talk a little louder. The hammer and the sickle. Russia is in our ears. Russia reminds you of what? The wall is up in between the two hemispheres. Russia took down the wall. How many years after the wall coming down do we get to pass over to the other hemisphere? Well, let's see. 10 years ago, I became bipolar. For some reason, I feel the wall came down. Did it come down in Germany? How long before people started to see it different? We had to take down these walls because there's a new cobweb being built in our heads right now, where you are right now, at this time that you're thinking. The old cobweb is coming down, the new cobweb is going up. It's going to be a whole new type of control. With the piece they put in your arm over here, it's going to control your matrix up over here. So it goes into your sand pit that turns around, because your ears are tapping out the information. Somehow we don't need ears. All we need is little holes, because we don't have to hear anything. We'll always hear through the vibration of all the equipment. If the vibration is there and we really don't hear, we'll read it through the vibration without needing. But we use the tree methods to carve it out in the tree in vibrations. And then the tree, by us eating and the rechanging of our whole body, or whatever you want to call it, we always have a new tree. Just like it's a new year and a new tree, and the flowers come up again, because your mind is flowering. Your mind is flowering. The flowers are blooming. Blooming dales. What is a dale? What's an ale? What's a tail of an ale? Could be the wail of the ale of something you hear is huge, but it gets into your ear, and it's a great story. But all you heard was a vibration of a sound. Have you noticed I'm still moving? Am I making you dizzy? It's a dance. It's coming into the matrix, feeling the vibrations. Whatever they be pushing on you is the way you move to the dance. So based on the questions I ask myself, now I don't know if I'm asking from the spiritual world or as a soul, but it's a soul that asks the spirit. I am the soul, and I ask you, O Spirit, what is the next thing I'm going to talk about? I lived on 1290 Emerson Drive, and the address was, oh wait a second, I had a double parking. I had a double parking, and I was checking it twice. Sometimes we got 3 cars in there. And oh God, we had, let's say, major parties, party time. The phone number, we had 2 phone systems. And there was a special button to join the other 2. Now, did you hear what I said? There was a special button on our phone to join the other 2. So we can have one extra button that doesn't do anything, that joins the right from the left. The same thing as the roulette wheel and the center of 258, 456. It's a joint affair. The crisscross is adding in the electronics. When you're in life, you're adding electronics is the way Rubik's Cube turns. like this. This one here, and this one here. This is low shu, my friends. Why? Because the energy has to come from up here. So if the energy comes from up there, number 9 is up there. That's where number 9 is. 9 is where 8 is. Why is 9 where 8 is? First of all, let me explain to you. 9 and 8 is 17. 9 is the I letter. H is the design of the I letter. Once you make an H, you have an I. They're together. They're number 17. When you go A and G, which is right next to each other, you have joined the mind with the birth. The two of them are together. That's why you see the Orion sticking to the sides, because 9 goes around 8. I'm not sure if it's the gears or what, but 9 goes around 8 in your mind. You get 17. Then you get to the dog pound over here where you're carried on the moon. You get 9 and 2. 17 and 9 is 26. You're a dog in the pound. But you're scratching. You're scratching at the door, and you're like an eagle. Or you're picking at the wood from your nose. The longer your nose, the greater your points. Doesn't it make sense? If the nose grows, all the points of the pyramids must grow. If they all grow, they will stick out. You'll look like a red devil. So how big do we want the point of our nose? And what if it was flat? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He was just sad. So you saw his sadness. So we went through this. What else are we going to talk about? Colors of the sand all over the world. And the salts and where they fit in your body. Do we actually need the ears with the hammer and the sickle? Do you know what they say about icicles? The icicles drip. Now the question is it your sinus dripping? They're able to read the water in our body. So when we get sick, they make us sick because they want to read us. I've never been sick because I'm easy to read. I give them all the information. Because if I take 1 minute to hide something that doesn't need to be hidden, I have used up 1 minute of my time, which cannot be replaced. And yeah, I used up a little energy. Big deal. But it's my time. 9 and 8, 17. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. 8 and 7 is 15. That's the egg. Here it is, my friends. I have a funny feeling the other parts of the egg came together right here. They broke apart. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Put a piece of the egg here to make your chin. Or it's your ass. Those things in the back of your ass. But I know something. By the time I'm finished, I'm going to tell you where your sperm is from your father. He's probably still alive after 70 years. How'd you like to know that? How'd you like to think that your father's sperm is in you right now and somehow it's working in your body for you? You're not controlling it because it's running the situation. It's keeping you alive. It's keeping your motor reflexes. Or it's something that needs to be to hold together your tendons. The sperm or the train. Is it the sperm or the train that goes upriver? The silver matrix, if she flies fast enough in silver and water, and the silver in the water, going up the rails on number 11? Is that where Lake Mead is? We came up with this little story about 5 minutes ago. This is French, VDV. You know what this says here? 444. This is French. It says 444, and this is 22. This will make it 26 to doghouse. This one will make it 30. Excuse me. Let's bring it down. 4812. Yes. So I was at 1290 Ridgewood Drive. And you know my phone number? 688-4244. Or 4248. That's exactly where we are right now. 4-4 is 16 P and H. When the P and H, it's the phoenix that flies. Okay? The hammer and the sickle I told you from the Russians, maybe we don't need these ears. Maybe we can hear everything by vibration. Just like the telephone. You pick up the telephone and he didn't send his voice here because that would take up a lot of space. It only sent the vibration that re-clicked out the sounds back into a machine that clicked them out to you and you heard him in his words. That's why we have different voices. If we all had the same voice, the machine would have a hard time. Remember I told you about the nose? 688-4244. 42 is 5 and 9. 44 is space. 4248 is 5 and 9. 448 is space and the backdoor entry into space. This space here, 4 times 8 is 32. 3 times 2, 3 plus 2 makes the 11. 6 and 5 wolf. The wolf is howling to come on in. It's howling to come on into your mind. It wants to hear you. It wants to listen to you. Or it's you howling when you're breathing in. Your breathing in is actually a wind on the other side going that way. You may be sucking in, but it's pushing out. 4244, 4248, 92 says yellow. Yellow and black have the same numbers, 11 and 11. Irregardless to that fact, okay, the high and the low, 44, 48. Now the low, 4, 4, and 4, 58, 60. 60 seconds on the clock, it becomes 66. 6 islands of 6 islands. Reduce it to space, which is 4 by 8 is 32. 4 plus 8 is 12. So the 32 place they take, okay, 3 times 2, and 3 plus 2 equals to 11. When you say the word bell, it becomes 52 and 11 because B and E, it's the electronic system. When bell hooks up, when beta, the middle system, okay, hooks up to the 2 sides, she divides her telephone line. 1 telephone line to that side, 1 telephone line to that side, and she's the intermediary holding you up like a company. So this here, okay, is exact. Now this is 10, and this one is 17, it's 27, 37. 37 is also communication. This is the same numbers we have with Nibiru, number 7337. This is the communication, AC-DC. How do I know? Because 3 times 7 is 21. 3 plus 7 is 12. 33 is the command and the create. Connects all 3 sides. At the same time that we had, which number did we have? We had 11 over here, spirit, angel, and man. Spirit, angel, and man level. 3 levels. It was 32. Let me see something. This again, I'm trying to see where I was. 10, 17, 27. That says red. Okay, now what does it mean to have the red wire in on telephones? Okay, 27 plus the 11th card. 11 and 11 is 22, and the 12th card is 32, 33, 34. This says 1 connection. The jacks and the valet. The delivery of the cargo and the jack. You plug in your wire into a jack, you put the plug in the wire, and it delivers you the service of all the ladies. Because the queens have 8 eyes. There's 4 queens in the deck, and they have 8 eyes. If you play Monopoly and you go all the way around the board, it'll be 48 squares of this that you'll be using up. Okay? So this has to do with jack and connecting the back world. So who's in the back world? And that's my telephone number, 4448. It's a hookup. So we have to know what yellow, blue, and red is in the telephone system. I wrote a few more things. I'm going to do this fast. Maxwell Smart, a mini mart. He does his art. He has Mars in his name. It's a Mars start for Angel Man because Mars is the sandbox. We put different kinds of sands in it, and then there's different kinds of sands inside our body. But all these sands at one point must mix. The reason they must mix is because they have to be intertwined and changed within the blood system. So the mixing would go out your back end. The red blood is not red blood, but it turns brown when you go to the bathroom. The electronic, does the electronic change it a color? Is yellow an electronic? Is blue an electronic? Don't forget the air you breathe and the silver within the water, which brings in the light. The water brings in the light in your eyes. Smart is 86. He speaks to Agent 99. That's 185. That's the matrix speed. Spirit Angel of Man is number 11. Bell, B Sam. Mass B. Anyway, B Mass. I can't really tell you what this is. Larva bees and Lara bee all connect, okay, to the control. The cone of silence in control because we're out in chaos. Creation, Evan, angels of Os. Is it Os or Dos? We are running our personal computers. Is this OS or DOS? And if you look at it, it can look like number 50. It means the one who run with their own heart. 50. I don't like the way I transmade that last one. So then my parents moved to a street called the CAM, C-A-M, or MAC, which is part of the numbers that say Win Big Jesus Christ, which is starts with number 72, and I'm not getting into looking for the rest of the numbers. Their telephone number is all about connecting three. Their number is 343. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? But, excuse me. Pretend this is just three sides. 1, 2, 3. And the other one is up here, the point in the front. Look. 1, 2, 3. Right? But this three, a three-sided pyramid, has 1, 2, 3, and then one in the front, because that has a flat part in the back. That's why we have a flat part in our head over here, because it comes right over here. How is it in there? Well, they made a skull for it, and they put it in. They took it out in the pyramid-like, but they made it pyramid-like, because if they didn't, it's like a plastic bag in a plastic bag. If they don't make the shape close to the pyramid style, then it'll push out in one spot a little bit more than another, and then it won't make the body right. You follow what I'm saying? The pyramid of the head. So 343 or 434 is you're connecting 3 of 4 areas. The fourth area is the point for the light. You know the one here's the one dot. It's right here. Okay, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. See the light coming out of it? What happens is it's like this. 3 on this side, 3 on this side for the light. And I'm not sure if there's 1, 2 of them all the way to here. And it stops. This one, you only needed, I think, this one is over here. So you don't need to use the fiber optics. So you lose your hair because you don't need the fiber optics. But the women have to get pregnant. So they lose their fiber optics. They don't lose their fiber optics. They keep their hair because they can become pregnant, and because they control the 2 moons of Venus. The 2 eggs that they have, those are the 2 moons of Venus. Just because they go into menopause, it doesn't mean they don't own the control of Venus. But they get a little edgy and anky, and it's always the fault of the menopause. Well, of course it is, because the eggs aren't there. Where are you going to put the information? You got to set up a place and put up a new place for information. You need an information center. When you're not feeling good and you don't have those 2 eggs to protect you, say, oh, everything's okay, because those eggs keep you sort of excited a little bit, keeps away the thought. You do know that when you're depressed, like me, at certain times, I get really nervous before I go to bed, and certain other times I get really nervous, like I have nothing to do, and I always got to think of something to do. You know why? Because I'm not allowed to do anything that hurts anybody, and I never would. Just saying, when I'm saying hurting somebody, I'm talking about myself. Not allowed. You can go out and spend $20. There's machines to play, but I have to sit in front of here. I'm taking away time from this. Shopping. I can do a whole lot of things. But I don't. I'm spending most of my time here. Can I sit in a shopping center and shop and buy and go to the casino and buy lotteries? And what can I be doing other than being here? If I'm not here, I'm not doing my job. What is my job? To put together bits and bits and pieces that seem to work in conjunction with each other, that tell a story on questions we've asked in our lifetime. And together, the bunch of us, we're going to come up with that story. It's going to be like a puzzle, except the puzzle will be on Excel, and then it'll turn into its own movie that intertwines within itself. I wanted to tell you about, at the very beginning, I was talking about darts, okay? Okay, at the very 42,444. At the very beginning, I was talking about darts, and I was saying that this would be the red, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, okay? I'm just looking for something. No. Okay, this is what I have. I have a dartboard and it says bullseye on it. Okay, around that one is red. Around that one, okay, that one is the center. It means it's field. One part is the outside of ship. The red is the area. It shows you doubles and triples. Okay, and then in the center it shows the red dot. Now every single one of these, it shows that there's a hook that hooks to the center ring of the bullseye. Bullseye. It doesn't say what the bullseye. The outer bullseye scores 25 points, and the inner one scores 50. Okay. So the outer bullseye scores 25 points. The inner one scores 50. That's a total of 75. 75, 57, 75 is the end of the game. Bullseye. Another thing is, if it's space, this is the first time that I noticed that there's really no hockey, like for the Canadians the day before Christmas, and the Canadians probably won't play for 4 or 5 days now. That is very odd. I've never seen that before. We didn't play Monday. We didn't play Tuesday. We're not playing Wednesday. I don't even think we're playing Thursday. Anyways, I told you my address is. Not only that, I also moved into 845. That's the heavens of the fox hunt, because we're always chased by the ENG. The English, do you know why we're chased by the English? Because it's the spirit world, the electronic world heaven. It's an electronic world heaven. That's what it says. The English is an electronic world heaven. That's why they speak the way they do. Their heaven is electronic. They are being in complete control. They are completely controlled moreover than anybody else. That's the way I see it. That's why everything was moved into small squadrons. Small squadrons is a squaw, okay, or to crawl down low, but it's an area where you're all bunched up, and therefore they can get a greater reading of you. So it's an electronic area. The second English, okay, sets up for an electronic heaven, but at the same time, it's the creation heaven, where you come out and there's more opportunities to create. Why? Because the Canadians, and when you start somewhere, you start cold, right? When you come into a game, you start cold. So cold game begins with hockey, and the Canadians won the 24 Stanley Cups. And hockey was big out here. Well, hockey was big everywhere. But I knew of the NHL, N is 5, H is 8, L is 3. 385, that's the matrix spirit. 80, 80, 80 equals 255. 255, 3 and 4 goes into 3 and 5. 2 and 5, like I spoke to you before, those numbers. And between 2 and 5 is 3 and 4. 2 goes with 4, makes 6. That's the smallest 4 you can get. 256 is President John F. Kennedy. Match again. You know where I haven't matched yet? Illinois. I've done a little bit with nuts in Illinois, but I have to match Illinois with the Mississippi and over to Kansas City. And if anybody out there has a question for me matching anything, okay, go for it. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.